Om Shanti. I know you must be very shocked to know cycle is only 5,000 years, right? We have been attached to the belief, right? We know the belief system, right? Where the beliefs are stored, they are stored in the soul as part of sanskars, right? Which are the deep impressions, right? Because we have stored for a long time, right? And that impression is again we have been reinforced, right, with the information we are receiving in every birth, and that becomes deeper and deeper and deeper. Okay, deeper the impressions, it's harder to really remove it or change it. Okay, and also it doesn't allow the intellect even, okay, to accept any facts. Okay. So you will be challenged, okay, throughout this study, okay, because this is a cleaning process that's going on. Okay, I really like this example. Like how we go to any sacred place, right? It might be temple, mosque, churches. We usually try to be clean, right? At some of the temples, even they wash their hands and feet before even going into the main hall, okay, to worship. So this memorial has come from here. Okay, so all these facts, when we receive, what are we doing? We are cleaning the intellect so we can directly study from God, okay, who is here. So cleaning process is needed. If I don't clean my belief system, okay, which will be really hard. That's why even in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it has said, like, when you receive the truth, it will feel like it's poison. Okay, this happiness, okay, from true knowledge, it will be poison, but later it will become a nectar. Okay, so this is nothing new. How we are feeling, we all have gone through it. Okay, so just use your intellect, try to think logically, okay, and not let your impression be heavy on you. I would like to explain this with the example of iceberg. Okay, if you really see the iceberg, the top portion, just a small amount of the portion, right? It's visible, right? So a lot of things that comes in our mind, right? We visualize it, right? It is based on the support at the bottom, which holds majority of the portion of that. In here, it's iceberg, and for us, it will be basically making decision, okay, and the way we are thinking. So sanskars actually plays a major role in how we see things, what we accept things from outside, okay, how what decisions we make, okay, and how we enact through our virtues, okay. So that's why that makes us different from each other, okay. And that impression is not just from one birth, it is carried from the previous birth. I know some of you don't believe in law of karma. Just wait, next session, next to next session, we will talk about it, and you will be also shown the proofs, okay. So very, very important, sanskars drive, okay, both mind and intellect. So right now we are under the influence of Rajo and Tamo Guna. Okay, their characteristics will be shown to you in the future session. Okay, but when I'm going to talk about scripture, I'm going to show you a little chart on how our intellect, okay, is how we made a decision. You can say based on the influence of Rajo and Tamoguna. Just one or two points I will highlight. Okay. But main point I want you to get is, see, knowing this fact, mind, intellect, sanskars is the soul, we can easily able to see, oh, okay, lot of the things which I could not see earlier, now I can able to see, right? Knowing this fact, you can able to easily change yourself, like in our lives too. Like we know that, right? Some of the things I had one mindset, oh, this is the way, But during my lifetime, when I let go that no, I should not hang on to just one way. The moment I had made the decision that I should not just be limited to see this way, all the different things opened up in front of me, right? Like, look, life is so beautiful. Whatever I was thinking just had restricted intellect to even open any other option that can also make me happy, okay, and be free, and can also get along with people or make others happy. Okay, the options just open up. We all have seen that, right? So in here too, this is the same thing here. Okay, our sanskars make us really react instantly, but when we sit back and whenever we have tried to observe through our intellect, okay, not being completely driven by sanskars and use the information to evaluate things, it doesn't matter how much it challenges my beliefs. Okay, I have felt, we have felt, right? No matter, oh, it's so hard to do, to stay with this person, right? It's very difficult, but some information about that person or the situation is hanging on, helping me, right? And eventually change my perspective about that person. Okay. And if I would have just, it allowed me to spend time with that person and know that person better, right? That instead of just resisting completely, that I really don't want to be with that person. Okay. It was completely different outlook. Okay. So I was just fighting with my belief that this person is not good, not good, not good. Okay. And I was just judging that person. But when I let go of that belief, then I was easily able to see where I was, where where I was mistaken, okay, and then see that positivity. So we all have experienced that how sanskar has been bounding the intellect, okay, and the mind, okay, to think only one way. Okay, so that's why I'm just requesting you, looking at your life and how you what you have experienced practically, you also allow yourself to uh, approach the same way when you are studying this. Okay, so the fact is basically if I don't have my mind, intellect, and sanskars operated, okay, together, I cannot have peace and harmony. Okay, but three of them, mind needs pure thoughts. They need some food, right? Intellect needs pure information, pure knowledge. Okay, and of course, sanskars. Okay, will be activated or created when intellect makes a decision. So intellect is the one that's the main faculty we are targeting at this time. Okay, and right now our intellect under the Rajoguna, we have misunderstood the right thing. Okay, as well as we have understood wrong thing in a right way. Okay, that is called under the Rajo and Tamoguna. Okay, which means you understand right thing, you misunderstood the right thing, or you have understood, took wrong thing as the right thing. Okay, so that's what's going on, and because of that, we are not able to see the reality. Okay, because that's when I have made that decision. Oh, okay, I created certain perspective that sanskar has generated, and I'm keep reinforcing that sanskar by allowing the intellect to only see things that supports that decision. Okay, and after that, it had become an habit. Okay, I hope it's making sense what I'm trying to tell you. It's very practical. Okay, so that's why even though whatever you are listening, it might not feel comfortable, it's really important you go through it. Okay, we are challenging our Rajo and Tamaguna sanskars, so that way we can easily able to activate our Sattva intellect. So that way we can able to control the mind and activate our Sattva sanskars, and three of them can work together under the Sattva Guna. Or you can say the pure. Sattva means pure, Rajo and Tamu means impurity. Okay, it's an attributes mode, okay, through which it operates. You will learn more in the future session. Okay, main thing is mind, intellect, sanskars have to operate together. You need to have right belief system. You need to have accurate understanding. Based on that, mind can stay peaceful. Otherwise, if you just go around at different places and just take, okay, positive things, but not the complete truth, or if, especially when they don't have the truth, a lot of mixed charity is there. You don't know what is right, what is wrong. You're just taking something on a superficial aspect. That is also, it's not going to help you, because everywhere you go, if you don't have that, remember the core, the belief system, okay, very powerful. The top portion will not be sustained, mind will not be sustained. Okay, so we need to have accurate knowledge about everything about ourselves and God. So in order to really have that sato sanskar and constantly have the pure thoughts. If you want to understand that this little better, if you have not understood it clearly, please let's schedule a session. Okay, it's very practical. This helps at every step of my life and everyone's life who is practicing Rajyoga. This education that we are lacking since long time. If we don't really know how our inner world works, of course we are not able to feel peaceful. Okay, it doesn't matter how much we resist it, eventually we will come back to this one day. All right, so in this session, okay, I'm going to cover just a few things about why the cycle, okay, has been prolonged from 5,000 to billions or lakhs of years. Why in the scriptures it says that. You already watched the video and covered majority of the facts, but a few things I'm just going to point it out. And the PDF file will be in the description box. If you have additional questions, feel free to contact. Okay. Okay, so before that, I'm going to cover something about scriptures. Okay. So regarding scriptures, okay, we are going to learn, okay, because majority of the beliefs that we have carried, okay, are coming from scriptures. Even though you say that, no, it's based on my feelings or based on what my mom was doing or said, but still, doesn't matter what you say, the base is scriptures. In scriptures also, there are multiple interpretations, variations are there. Okay, so all those different types of scriptures took place over the time, and whichever scripture people like, they just took the things from there. Okay, so it's very important to understand the beliefs that we have generated, okay, are based on scriptures which doesn't have a strong base. I mean, strong, which are not a strong support, okay, because scriptures also go through sato rajo tamo, from pure to impure. Initially, when it was written, it had the truth. Later, due to multiple interpretation, okay, the truth was diluted. Okay, one of the example is Srimad Bhagavad Gita itself. Okay, I will not really have that in the series, but I will have that recording, okay, in the description box under this video. Okay, if you are interested, you can take a look at it. Okay, how Srimad Bhagavad Gita itself have been modified over the time. Okay, just a glance. It's not even in something in detail. Okay, so I have some slides and recording. Take a look at it. If you're still not convinced, we can talk. Okay, even in Bible, Quran, there is a proof. Okay, before certain things were there, just like Adam was made in the image of God. Now they have Jesus Christ. Not to offend anyone, but that's reality. You do your own research and find out the truth. We need to face it. We are not facing it. We get affected by it. No. We are just hanging on. Remember the sanskars, the belief system we are attached to. We can't even, we don't want to even open to see the reality. Okay, because it's trapping. The vices are trapping the intellect. Okay, so very important. Now you face it. That's what we really need. Okay, to meditate. Okay, so what is the meaning of scripture? Okay, the scripture means laws to rule. Okay, the self. Okay, that's what the scriptures is. Sashan Karne ka Vidhan. Okay, by the way, these slides will also be there, okay, in the description box. Just make a rule, okay, make a rule like if you want to really see material, read material, just check the description box, okay. In all the videos, you will find something, okay. All right. So scriptures means laws to rule. Okay, now think about it. Just think about it. Laws to rule, which means you were not able to rule yourself. You needed some help to rule. Okay. Dharma means righteous nature, manner, personality, character. Okay. Wealth of virtues, righteousness. All right. Okay. So now, question to be asked. Okay. We already came to know, right? Golden age and silver age, right? They are considered to be heaven, okay? And copper age and iron age, right? They are considered to be part of hell, right? The world of sorrow began from the copper age. There was world of happiness, okay? Now there was the world of happiness, okay? Now, do you really think we needed scriptures in the golden age and silver age? Okay, when we were living, okay, in the awareness of seeing ourselves as a soul, which is our swadharma, right? Of course not, right? When you were already ruling yourself, right? Ruling yourself means constantly being aware of yourself as a soul, then you will automatically rule, right? Over the body. Okay, sato sanskar were ruling, right? We were by default we were in set by pure in a pure mode. Automatically we were performing pure actions, okay, based on our pure sanskars. Okay, no scriptures were needed, no guidance were needed. Okay, it was land of truth. Mind and intellect were stabilized. Okay, so scriptures began from the copper age. Okay, very, very important. Okay, which is about 2,500 years ago. Okay, it's not about millions and thousands of years. Okay, reality is scriptures began, okay, from the copper age. Just 2,500 years, that's the history it says. Before people count during the days of sorrow. Okay, days are counted. Before that, there were no dates. Okay, dates are created to count. Okay, history is nothing but just a count or record of the events that occurred. Okay, so count begins, right? From the day or from the time of sorrow. Okay, in the time of happiness, you really don't need to count, right? We in our life also, when we are happy, time passes. But when something we don't like, we are just looking, oh, how long, how long, how long, right? So you can see, right? You will be counting days during the time of sorrow. So that is the time the history is recorded. Okay. But there is a saying, too many opinions water down the original idea. Okay. That's what happened from copper age to iron age. Okay. Too many opinions, interpretation of the same thing, just like Srimad Bhagavad Gita, just same slokas, but different interpretation, different ways of narrating, different logics. Okay, it's which is completely opposite from each other. It's conflicting. Okay, so that is happening from Sato to the everybody, Tunde Tunde Matari Bhinna, different heads, different opinions in form of like Ravan. Okay, 10 opinions, 10 heads, especially at that time, different religions come into existence. So we have multiple opinions. Okay, that is not creation of God. Okay, if there are a lot of scriptures, okay, then there will be fight, right? There will be differences of opinions. God would never do that. He would not cause fight amongst their children. Again, there is an article on that. I'm going to keep it in the description box. If you want to take a look, you may. Okay, that is not the creation of God. He doesn't divide us into branches in his name. Okay, so that's why God does not create any scripture. When he comes, he just speaks orally. It's the human beings when they recollect. Okay, so very, very important fact is in this diamond age, which is right now, okay, God comes. Okay, now we are going to understand with this scenario. Okay, just hang in there with me. This session actually requires discussion. Okay, so it might be very new to you. If you are walking and listening to it, you might want to pause and just look at the picture here so you can understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, now we know the cycle repeats, right? You might have looked at the Gita Sloka reference or the PDF file. Okay, from the previous session when we talked about cycle. Okay, so cycle repeats, okay, as it is. Now we need to understand, when does God come? It is said in the scripture, Sambhavami Yuge Yuge in the Gita. Okay, so it doesn't mean like he comes between the conjunction of two ages. Okay, no, he comes at the end. Okay, end of the first cycle and the beginning of the new cycle. So end of the old cycle and beginning of the new cycle. Just we say sky or dawn. Okay, dawn, sorry. Okay, that's why also in Christianity, in its memorial, they celebrate spring equinox. It's a memorial of the confluence age. Okay, end of the old cycle, beginning of the new cycle. Okay, I think there is somewhere in some of the slides. I don't know if in this one or another one, but wherever it is, I'm going to have it in the description box. So slides. Okay, if something I'm saying and you don't see, just contact. Okay, but make sure you contact with Serene Light 108. So I can able to share the material. Okay, if it's not listed here. All right. So whatever the necessary slides is, whatever reference I have from different religions, it will be kept. Okay, here. And if you need more evidences, you can contact. All right. So as you can see, okay, God comes at the end of the old cycle and beginning of the new cycle, which is called the confluence age. Okay, and this is also the proof. This chart is, if you can see here, I'm sorry, those who don't know Bhagavad Gita, I just want to bring it into your attention when you look at the slides. Who wants to know about Gita, see, hell and heaven are on this world. Okay, in the Bhagavad Gita, there are terms which are used, okay, which are clearly used. Okay, there is also a verse on that. Okay, the 16:6, chapter 16, slope 6, that has clearly said, okay, that world of hell and world of heaven is in here only. Okay, there are two lokas. Okay, within this world itself. Okay, deities and demons. Okay, loke, jagata. This PDF also I would keep. Okay, if you want to take a look, you can. Okay, with the references. Okay, so life only exists in here. Okay, whether it's world of happiness or world of sorrow. In the path of bhakti, we have been believing, okay, the heaven is up above, but that's not real. Okay, so the words they have used to contrast, okay, they had the same base. This earth is the same base, and they contrasted like a day and night. Okay, they contrasted hell and heaven. So it's in this earth itself, it is heaven, and then it becomes hell. Okay, other explanation you have seen in the video, and as well as I will keep the PDF. You're not still content, you can contact. Okay, righteousness or unrighteousness, as it mentioned in Quran and Bible, it is the memorial in this world itself. Okay, all the characters it has shown in the scripture, it might be Ravan, Saturn, or Duryodhan, Dusashan, any kind of characters that you have seen, they are depicting characteristics. Okay, we are Ravan. Like deities also are shown very beautiful, demons are shown very ugly, because we have inculcated negativity. Okay, that ugliness in the soul is shown through behavior. Okay, the five vices, the negativity, vice, lust, anger, greed, attachment, and ego, it is shown, okay, in our appearance physically, just like deity's beautiful soul. Okay, you will know how that they are decorated with ornaments. Okay, and that depicts their basically the virtues and the power. Okay. It personifies their character. Okay. The outer look is the reflection of their inner purity. Same thing here. Okay. I hope it is making sense to you. Okay. So in hell, like it also means to cover up. Okay. So hell means we are hiding something. So we are hidden. Okay. By the body conscious nature, or you can say vices. Okay. We have hidden ourselves, our swadharma. Okay. By adapting something which is not ours. Okay. Our true self is hidden. So that's why it has said dharma means attributes, virtues, righteousness. Okay. Adharma means unrighteousness. So we adapt adharma. Okay. Which is unrighteousness. Okay. In other scriptures, Ved, Purana, Vayu Puran, Mahapuran. Okay, it has indicated of hell and heaven being on this world. Okay, scriptures are also basically changed over the time. Okay, so it's important. Maybe you say, oh, this scripture I would say, but you need to understand originally it was something, and this is how it is. It is it is how it has changed and it has become okay impure at this time, being having been added the multiple opinions. Okay, so right now divine virtues reflect swadharma, demonic virtues reflect padharma. Okay, and then also in the path of bhakti, they have shown it up above because it is referring to the high stage. Okay, it's not something in a physical sense. Just like in Bible also, it has said, set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on earth. Okay, so it's about mind, the stage. Okay, I hope it is clear. Okay, coming back to the point. Okay, I hope you are still with me. Okay, if you are not able to connect it, please go back and listen to it. Okay, carefully. Otherwise, of course, we are available to help you to understand. This is like a shocking, okay, for everyone, even for me too. Okay, initially, but then over the time, it does make sense. Okay, all right. In this PDF, if you don't know the difference there clearly between hell and heaven, you can go through this chart. Okay. We are focusing here on the scriptures over the changes, okay? Over the time, sorry, changes in the scriptures over the time. Next recording, we are going to focus deities are not God, okay? Because we are talking about cycle, it is important, okay, for you to know. But right now, it's important for you to know because this is our focus about scriptures, right? That how in the scriptures, just I used an example, heaven and hell, right? On this earth, right? How they have taken it in literal sense. That is the proof the scriptures were written from the copper age. Okay, it went from Sato Pradhan, Sato Samanya, Rajo Pradhan, and Tamo Pradhan. Okay, which is from pure, semi-pure, impure to degraded stage. Okay, there is an example through which we can relate it. Okay, think about it, a milk. Okay, and you add a drop of poison. What will happen to the milk? Okay, it will become poisonous, right? And if you add more milk to it continuously, still it will be poisonous. Okay, so that's why it's important. Now God has come to replace the whole milk. Okay, so think about it, that poison is within us. We are infected by virus, you can say poison. Okay, we really have to clean it with new milk, right? New information. So that way also it will make sense to you. Okay, and one thing that see, I would like to highlight before I go to 5,000 years. Okay, how the scriptures were created. Okay, scriptures were not created based on inspiration. Very important fact is when God is in the supreme abode, he is not active. Very, very important. Please listen carefully on this fact. When God is in the supreme abode, okay, for the 5,000 years, in the 5,000 years, last 100 years, okay, 4,900 years, okay, if you take if you count, okay, until that time God is not active, he doesn't do anything, He does not really give you any vision and give anyone any visions or anything. When he comes in this world and takes a body, he becomes active, he becomes living. Until then, he was non-living. Just like we souls took a body and we became living. Okay, so in order for God to feel that he is God, he has to have a body, just like us. Okay, that we will cover in the next session. We talk about deities, which is the difference or similarities between soul and God. But this is the important fact. Okay, scriptures are not inspired by God. He cannot inspire when he is not alive. Okay, when he don't even know, okay, who he is. Okay, very, very important. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, okay, on what basis scriptures were written. Okay, even if you do the research, everywhere it has said scriptures are written based on what is heard or what is remembered. Shruti and Smriti. Okay, so we know if you really look at the base of every scripture is because someone had visions or it was being passed on. This person told it, that person told. Okay, based on that only. Okay, like religious fathers had told. So based on some people heard, they created the scriptures. Okay, no religious father writes any scriptures, even though some people, they may argue as much as they can, because they have just reinforcing what they have heard. We don't have any practical proof. Okay, something is true or not, it is only proved when something is practical. When Jesus is here and tells, oh, okay, I have written or not. Other than that, everything that we are hearing, we can't believe it. Same thing, when God has to come in this world. So he had come, for example, say that in cycle 1, he had come, beginning of the cycle 2. Okay. At the beginning of the cycle 2, at the end of the cycle 1, he had come and narrated true knowledge, which is in form of a real Gita, song of knowledge. Okay, he had narrated it. Okay, at that time, and he went. He only comes for short amount of time. Then he goes. Okay, and then he doesn't come back until that time comes. Okay, he comes at the end. So he narrated it. Okay, he only comes at the end of the cycle and in beginning of the new cycle. Okay, and then he left. Okay, and new cycle began from heaven. Okay, and then 2500 years were passed. Okay, we know now soul, as it takes rebirth, experience the pleasure, the battery discharges, and when we reach halfway, okay, in the copper age here, okay, that is the time scriptures were written. Okay, in the cycle 2, when it reaches halfway, okay, then we forget ourselves as a soul, we become body conscious. That's the time people start having visions. Why? Because they started using their mind. Before then, there were no scriptures because they didn't use the mind. Okay, they were not feeling, going away from their swadharma. Okay, so this time, because impurity started coming in them, they started feeling that lack of purity. That time they started, the sanskars of knowledge emerged, what God had narrated. Remember, sanskars are carried one birth to another birth. So that sanskars everyone had have formed 2500 years ago. Okay, but some of the powerful souls who took the most knowledge from God, they would have the vision first. Okay, and that's how the scriptures were formed. Any scriptures. And then after that, whatever they felt like, oh, this is what God taught one time. Okay, they heard from God, they remembered what God said, but they could not articulate in the right way because they did not have the awareness of the soul. In order to articulate the information God had given, you need to have soul conscious stage. Okay, that's how he is different than everyone. But then we forgot ourselves in the copper age. Everybody, all the human beings, doesn't matter. You can name anyone, great saints, scholars, anyone. Okay, initially they tried their best to put forth, okay, some of the teachings, but they did not really interpret or explain. Okay, that's where the later, okay, when more and more souls, remember, weak souls comes at the end, we started interpreting it. in many different ways, and it diluted the truth. Okay, so that's what's happening, and it goes on and on and on until God comes and verifies. Okay, think of it as an example. I came to you, to your place. I told you some facts, okay, when you were young. And then I come later, after 20 years, okay, and then you became old, okay. And that time when I'm talking to you, I see that lot of things that I had told you, you completely have interpreted it in a wrong way, have you had kind of changed the understanding of it, because your intellect become weak. You were influenced by the situation around you, and you started kind of taking things in a different way. Okay, so you say you where basically you had took the understanding in a different way by the time I came. Okay, you had your own way of basically own opinion about it, not and not remembering what we had taught. So same thing happened, okay, happening right now. So that's why God is here. God has to come at the end when it's extreme impurity. Okay, so I hope now you understand. Okay, scriptures are not created by God. Anything God creates, don't go into degraded stage. Okay, creation of God does not create division, does not create fight, quarrel, okay, peacelessness, okay, confusion. He's the knower of three aspects of time. Very important part to understand. Okay, so that's why we are here now. We have become degraded. It's the darkness in the extreme night. Okay, we have become demons from deities. All right, so that's the reason. There are a lot of proofs in this PDF, like Vedic period. Initially, it was just said it's 3,000 years ago, and now people have thousands and thousands of years they have added to it. Okay, since this recording is getting longer, I'm going to go and talk about it, about the 5,000 year cycle, how it has changed in the next recording. Okay, a lot of things you have to read on your own if you're interested, or we should discuss. Okay, so that way I don't people don't get bored. Okay, we are trying to keep it short and sweet, on to the point, so that way in the timely manner you can finish this study, complete study. Okay, best wishes. Om Shanti.